Settle down here and meet in front. Are you ready? Good to go. We're recording. First thing we have this morning is an announcement from the Employee Gift Fund Committee.
Good morning. I'd like to share a few facts with you that you may not be aware of. Last year, the fund wrote 206 checks at the holiday time to our employees. Many we never see in our daily lives here at Regency Oaks. They're behind the scenes. You may also remember that last year Regency Oaks had fewer employees than we have today. So, the number of staff who will be eligible for a check from the gift fund this year will increase. I ask you to keep this in mind when you make your donation to the Employee Gift Fund. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. I do have one very good news piece this morning. The doors on the S Wing, North Building, has the perimeter doors, fobs installed, electrified. So this morning I was playing around with them. It takes about 9 seconds for the door to open, swings open very gently. It stays open for 15 seconds, and then it starts to move, and it takes about 9 seconds to close. I stood in front of the door, waited for the 15 seconds, gave me a little nudge, it went back, and stayed open for another 15 seconds. It works very, very well. Now, and these are just the perimeter doors that we currently have on the fob system. My fob, the old fob, the existing fob, however you want to define it, works. It all works.
If you're on the outside, will the fob automatically open the door?
Yes, it does. You press the fob on the doodad, and the door opens. It stays open 15 seconds, and closes behind you. If you're in the way a little bit, and nudges you, it'll open up again for 15 seconds. Now, you do not need the fob to exit the building. There's a little digital box, looks like that, for that door, except you don't have to do it manually. You just have to walk by the door. I walked by far to the wall, it didn't work. Walked in the middle of the hallway, walked by it, it worked, it opened the door. And you might have to wiggle your hips a little bit to get it to open, or you can traditionally do the wave your hand in front of it and it'll open it up. But it all works very, very well, and it gives plenty of time to get in and out. So nothing to worry about. Fear not. It's going to work. And right now, it's just the perimeter doors. Apartment doors don't work the same way, but that's going to be coming later anyway. So with that, I think Brant.
All right, thank you, Chris. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So we're back today. You can see I brought our capable dining team, and we wanted to follow up. Back on July the 12th, we had just a listening post, and we committed to come back and do that again in 30 days, and so we're right at the 30-day mark. And so the purpose of Tuesday Talk today is to talk to you about what's going well, what we can change, and if you pull up that next slide, our 3 objectives. So, upside down, I don't know if I can do this. No, one before. There we go. What should we continue to do? What should we start doing? And what should we stop doing? And so that feedback is really vital to us. We are a little, just a tiny bit shy of being through the halfway point of the trial period, which will end on October 1st. And so this is another opportunity for you to continue to give us feedback so that we can move forward and have something that you can live with and that works for us as well. So here are the questions this morning. Next page. And so the first one is reservations. How are the reservations going? And Ricky, Chef, do you want to share anything on your thoughts today to get us started? None of this will pick up if you're not allowed to use mine.
Hello. So I have to admit that I really am so pleased with the way the traffic is inside of the kitchen. Prior to the reservations, the servers would be standing online waiting to get to the ice cream or waiting to get to sodas or waiting to get to coffee because they, all the orders came in at once. Since the reservations, it's quiet back there. There's 5 or 6 tickets in the window, and I've talked about this before. Nothing has changed. It's become so organized. The attitude in the kitchen from the cooks has improved. They're very positive. They see that they're not, being stressed and being yelled at. The management, I can see clearly now that when they come in, it's very simple requests that are being asked that, but not complaints about cold or about things that aren't being delegated properly. So I have to say, since we went to this reservation, the kitchen is much smoother, and I've checked with the residents. I'm not getting the complaints about cold food or any other issues other than, the off shot of certain things, very rarely. That is normal, that we would expect anyway.
Good afternoon, and the other thing I'd like to add, I've been here close to 7 years here now, and then when I first started here, one of the things that we did in the tavern is we started a pasta night. Some of you folks might remember that, some of you might not have been here then, but we didn't have reservations back then, and it was just a complete madhouse. Because everyone wanted to come in and join it, and then from there it just kept trickling down and down and down. So every night when we would be doing our rounds, walking around from the north to the south, and this is even when Dick was here, we'd come and we'd be walking into the tavern and wondering, all right, what's coming next? But now that we have the reservations, when we, I see a lot of faces that have been coming back and back to the pub, which would be the Infantes. I believe I saw Pam Di Marino. I've seen them a few times in the pub now. And in my mind, and Gene in front of me, it seems to be working really well, and it is a big relief on Jerry. If any of you folks are not familiar with Jerry, he is our pub cook. He has been here for a very long time. He always is communicating with us, with the front of the house, to find out, what the residents think. And if you're in the pub, take a peek in there and just take a look how big the kitchen is, how hot the kitchen is, and what Jerry does. He does one hell of a job, and he really, really enjoys working here. So I just wanted to add that in as far as the reservations. And it also preserves the food. We kind of have an idea of, how many steaks we need to have out, how many crab cakes need to be made. So it just helps with our organization too. So I hope the folks of you that are using the reservations, you feel, the same as we do. So thank you.
All right, let's open it up for feedback, and I see Judy has a question over here. Chris, you are you're going to get exercise this morning.
I have 2 people doing it.
Oh, okay. Hold on, lady, we're going to get you a mic.
I'm going to stay on this side. You're going to stay on somebody else's side.
Anyway, we're
on the north side.
Question. I just want to say that it is very easy to make reservations, and it works so smoothly.
Thank you, Judy.
I think the reservations works smoothly. The problem that I experience and I think a lot of people experience, is we get seated promptly, but we wait for people to serve us. I mean, it's still taking like an hour and a half to have dinner, and I don't know what that's about, because we don't usually end up waiting with the reservations. So I don't know, the kitchen's going smoothly and reservations are going smoothly. What's the matter in the middle?
What's wrong with an hour and a half to eat?
So,
It's just that we wait. It's like going to a doctor's office and getting out of the waiting room and being in.
right, okay. And I think, you know, again, we always talk about these are very young kids that, you know, I'm not going to make excuses for them, but we do notice that sometimes the servers forget to put an order in, and they come and bring you your soup, or they'll bring you a drink, and they just didn't put the order in on time. These are things that, you know, it does happen. I don't think it's going to happen every time with you or with certain people, but it may happen. These are things that we're going to get with our management team to make sure that they're overseeing everything. We make sure that our managers are in the dining room at all time. So if you are sitting at a table and maybe someone may have overlooked you for any reason, put your hand up. You see a manager, bring them over immediately. They'll take care of the situation immediately. What is your last name?
Beaumont.
Beaumont. Okay, Miss Beaumont. We'll make sure that we're going to keep an extra eye out for situations like that. I don't know if I haven't heard any other complaints about sitting for long periods of time, but it doesn't mean that it's not happening to you.
I'm Sharon Schaefer, and I think the reservations are working very well. And I also would like to courteously congratulate the servers that are working in the dining room. Their attitude is great, and they're very friendly. I think the whole operation really needs applause. So thank you for what's being done.
Thank you.
My name is Linda Rudiger, and I found that one reason for things being slow is the waiters wait for you to finish your salad before they put in the order for your entree. We've learned to say, please put our order in right away.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
Or especially if you're going to bingo, or you're playing a card game, or you're going to a race game, and you want your food out rapidly, just please, when you come up and the staff brings you in, just say, hey, listen, if we can get our food a little bit quicker, you know, because we're going to, you know, we have a big bingo game on Monday night, they'll be more than happy to do it, I can tell you that. So.
All right, so the second issue that we'd like to hear input on is how are things going in the Gastro Pub? We've been open a little more than a month. I can tell you that it is booked pretty solidly almost every night. So input on the Gastro Pub, please.
If I could just say one word, what we like to do, and I do the same thing at home. We like to do things in baby steps. We've been doing it since, you know, the world changed with COVID. You know, we'd open up the dining room to 15%, to 50%, to 75%. So when we opened the Gastro Pub, we just didn't want to fall straight on our, you know, on our face. So I had folks asking me, how come we don't have bread service? I said, just give us some time. Let's figure out all the bumps in the road. So we have the bread service, and folks have asked me for other things. So just be patient. I'm sorry. Come on, I thought someone said something. Anyway, if there's requests, bring them up at Dish Talk, bring them up at Tuesday Talk, at the Forum, or, you know, when you see us doing our rounds, we'll be more than happy to talk about it and see what we can figure out. But for those of you folks that haven't been to the pub since, when did we start that? Last week? Friday? Yeah. Yeah, the bread. So anyway, we do have bread service in the pub, so if you have any ideas, you let me know. We talk about it, get with Brant, and we'll figure it out. So I just want to pass that along. Thank you.
We have been there 3 times, and all 3 were wonderful. The dessert last night was to die for. Was absolutely delicious. decadent, but it was really good.
What was it? Death by chocolate.
Over here.
Sandy and I had the opportunity of going to the first pub opening. I was told I had the first New York strip. It was excellent.
Yes.
It was so
Put
good.
your name on a plaque, just so you know, too.
It was so good. I had to have the same steak again. It took me to the third trying to get to the next steak. I don't know if I'll get past there. We're going tonight at 4:40, and I anticipate having an excellent meal just like the last three I've had.
Thank you.
Anything else we can do in the pub?
Right here.
Breakfast and lunch.
Hold the microphone closely, you're having trouble hearing.
Johnny, my name's Roger, and what problem was solved with changing the name of the tavern?
I didn't know there was a problem.
Well, maybe some people should speak up, but it's been a topic of conversation, especially when
the
you
food's
find
still
the
going to
word.
taste the same.
Here, all right, and I know what you're saying. I know people don't like Gastropub. I get it. Folks, call it the pub. Just call it the pub. We're okay with that. Gastropub is a new thing that's out. We're trying to be cutting edge for all of our communities. Visit the gastropubs that are down the street, not even far from here. You'll see we're very similar to the style of food and decor. But call it the pub, folks. I mean, it's really what it is. It's a pub. So, and I think if we'd have called it the pub, we would never even have a conversation right now. But we put gastro in front of it, and people got scared. Well, they got scared when chickenpox came out, and we didn't have a vaccine for it. So everything's fine now. So give it a little time. Let's just keep moving along. And we have to change our letterhead and all of our circulars that are going around. So anyway, we're going to be fine with Gastropub for now.
Over here.
Right here.
Eleanor, and I'd like to see ice cream back for dessert in the pub.
So you would like ice cream back in the pub?
So Eleanor, about the ice cream, just so you understand, the whole point of it being the Gastropub is to have an upscale dessert, which you've been having. I know you've seen limoncello down there. We do, lava cakes and all different kinds of stuff. We will be offering a sugar-free ice cream for those of you that are that can't have sugar. But if you want to have any ice cream at all, it's available in both buildings, and you can have 500 different types of flavors. So even if we did offer ice cream, it would have been vanilla, and how plain is that? So please, if you want ice cream, plan your day around the ice cream, that's fine. But I'm looking at the steaks, and the beautiful limoncello cake, and the wonderful salads, and everything else that's completely unique to this building.
Over here.
When is breakfast and lunch coming back?
Well, it is right now in the north. This is the way it's going. Well, I know, but we don't have a set date on that. Right now, we have a lot of people coming in for breakfast and lunch. We're offering everything we did down in the pub, but we don't have an actual date of when it's going to come back.
It's not the same in any way.
I understand, but...
So one of the things that happens, and all of you longtime residents will know this, but in the month of August, what happens to our kids? They go. They go to college. They go back to school. The parents reduce their work schedule. And so August and September are the two worst months of the year in terms of our servers, our young kids. And so you may have heard Ricky speak. We're scheduled to lose 8 of the servers over the next couple of weeks. And we have to replace them and continue to hire. And so please understand, and we're really appreciative of your patience, this is an issue about staffing right now. And so we were able to look forward and knew that we were going to be experiencing additional servers that were walking out the door. And so we're trying to accommodate your needs, provide you a service you didn't have, the breakfast and the lunch service, but do it in a way that makes sense, because the alternative was to not offer it at all. And so we think this was a good first compromise, but please understand it's driven by the needs of recruiting new servers and replacing the loss that we're getting ready to experience.
Yeah, right here.
I applaud you for the changes in the gastropub. It's really upscale and it's wonderful, but could we please expand the menu so it has more, besides Philly steaks, have something, besides that?
So we're going to be rotating a lot of different things right now. This is the first run that we have. Ricky and I have already looked into changing to a different fish, changing a different steak. We won't be having things like, country fried steak down there. All these things this is what's available in our dining rooms. And those items are always available there, but the gastropub will always have unique style food, and they will be changed based on popularity.
And it is a dining venue that we're trying to promote. If you want the same old, it's available in abundance in both of our dining rooms. We have a Reuben sandwich that's available in our dining room that's been on the menu for 32 years. We have perfected it. It's a great sandwich, but we don't want to offer the same old in the pub. It's new, exciting, vibrant. It's different than what you can get in our other dining rooms. That was the entire concept of being able to offer you a different dining experience than what you have ordinarily every single day.
There was conversation outside the estate sale this morning about carryouts at the pub. And Brand had told me that you could carry out at the pub, but Daniela and the employees don't know that.
Yes, and I just talked to Ricky about that because this was the first I heard. So the same policy that we have in the dining rooms apply to the pub. You can, if you don't feel that you can finish your dessert, we will make sure that you have a container to take it out. And that if you have a small amount of food that you couldn't finish, we're going to supply you with a small to-go container for that as well. And we'll make sure very clearly that our staff understands that.
Well, I have a question. When we order a sandwich off the pub menu at lunch, and if you have that for our meal of the day, if we decide we want soup or the salad bar, we are charged extra. Why?
So the reason for that is if all we did is we moved the pub menu from the pub up to the dining room. We have that available for you. So you can order off of either side of the menu, but on the pub menu, if you order a sandwich, it comes with your choice of coleslaw, French fries, onion rings, and that's your selection. You can get a salad, but it's an additional $3.50 because you're ordering it off the pub menu. If you order off of the regular dining menu, the salad bar is included. And the reason for that is we haven't yet raised the price in the dining room to what it needs to be. You've heard us talk about this for months and months and months. Right now, every resident at Regency Oaks is subsidizing the cost of the bistro meal plan that only charges $9 for a meal in the dining room. The actual cost of that is closer to $15. And so that is ties with the menu from the pub, because if you order a $8 sandwich and you add $3.50 to it, you're still under the $15 mark. And so that's why is if you're using the meal of the day and you go and order off of, it matters what menu you order off. You cannot take selections from one menu and selections from the other. It's either order off of the dining room menu or the pub menu.
Is it possible to get French fries as a choice on the other side of the dining room menu?
Which one are you talking about, for dinner or for lunch?
Well, either one.
You're talking about the dining room if you order a hamburger?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Yes.
Okay, and in the evening you can do that also?
Yes, and the dining room will make that effective starting on Sunday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here. I'm curious, are each of the three of you making a commitment to breakfast and lunch in the pub in the future?
As long as it's not time sensitive, yes.
Time sensitive.
Yeah, I'm not willing to commit to having that back by September 1st or October 1st.
I haven't asked that.
All right, then the answer is yes.
Johnny? Ricky?
Yes? The boss said yes. Whatever he says is yes.
You don't have to go any further.
It's like being at home. Whatever the wife says, the answer is always yes.
Hold on.
Right now we have a bent to the north dining room 3 days now, and the numbers are small. And I think that is partially due to the fact that the south building is virtually excluded from participation because of the distance, the trouble of getting there. So please don't shove breakfast into the garbage can because a few people are turning out now. You need to get it open to everybody.
Yeah, we understand. We're in agreement. We're aligned.
This is in regard to being in the dining room, ordering off of the pub menu. When we had lunch in the pub, we could have coffee or hot tea free. I was told I would be charged because it's not on the pub menu. So actually the server went to 3 people and asked, you 2 were not there. Hot tea, iced tea was always in charge, as was a Coke. But the hot tea and the hot coffee was not.
So you're talking about if you're on the meal of the day plan?
If I'm on the meal of the day, I'm
then you should be able to have
pub
coffee or tea.
Or hot tea.
A beverage is included in your meal.
But a beverage is not included on the pub menu.
It is if you're on the meal of the day program. It's not if you're on the bistro meal plan. That's the difference.
Because the second meal.
Or a second meal.
Right.
Okay, well the server doesn't know that.
So that's
and a manager over there does not know that.
Yes.
That's why it's a trial.
That's why, yeah. now they will.
Okay.
So everything that we talk about today that we're telling you is going to change, and that's what it is. That's why we have this. So that you can bring to attention the things that we may just not catch or our servers may not know, and then we're going to put it into effect. So today it'll be.
And I want to be sure about the French fries because I love them. So you're saying I know with the pub meal we get it. So even though it's not printed on the menu, it's going to be available every day. French fries.
You said pub.
No, now I'm off the pub and I'm on the French fries.
Yes, French fries in the dining room.
In the dining room.
One of the things Ricky said, and we all came to agreement, is if you have a hamburger somewhere, where can you go where you're going to get a hamburger but you can't get French fries? And it's 100% right. You will have French fries.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Pickles?
You have pickles? Yes. I have sliced pickles.
No, we want a slice. We want a long.
We have them.
All you have to do is
I
ask for
have 20 gallons. I promise you we have pickles.
And I want to just say one more thing too about people coming from the south building over to breakfast. You know, the north people have to go to the south people for the exercise room, for doctor's appointments, for meeting with the activity director, for cocktail parties, for any events that take place in the Grand South lobby. I don't understand the problem that you can't walk over and eat breakfast.
Thank you, James.
Stay down there.
I'm Judy Studebaker. Wayne and I walk over to the north for breakfast or lunch, have ever since it has been available, and it works very, very nicely. We go late for breakfast, get there about 10:30, 10:45, and we go early for lunch, get there right at 12, and there is no problem.
Over here.
What does one have to do to get a medium rare burger? I ask for medium rare and it's always well done. I mean well done. They never serve a medium rare.
Go ahead, yes. Go on record.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
No comment.
We'll talk about it.
Okay. I just was thinking about the staffing problem at having breakfast at the pub would solve a staffing problem because it doesn't require waiters and waitresses, and we can just pick up our food or it's right there. I would think that would be one of the solutions to your staffing problem.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I just also want to comment that when we have, especially breakfast in the pub, in the tavern, it was kind of a rotating table. People were coming and going, they were stopping in for coffee, having breakfast. I've been over for breakfast at the dining room, you know, and I'm seated at a table by myself, with a tablecloth and all that. Eventually I found somebody to go sit with, and I moved. But it's not the same thing. It's not, the camaraderie is gone.
Again, it's not the ambiance that you want,
No.
I understand.
Brent, you just confused the heck out of me. And I know that's not hard to do. But I'm on the meal of the day plan. When I go to lunch, and I want to order from the pub menu. So if I order a sandwich, a beverage is not included and soup is not included, but yet it's the meal of the day.
Beverage is included.
But why isn't the soup?
Because the soup and the salad bar are not on the gastro pub menu as being included. What's included in the gastro pub menu for meal of the day is your choice of French fries, onion rings, or a coleslaw.
But I understood when you were giving the presentations on the food plans that we could go to the meal of the day anytime, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yes. But so it's the same way. There are areas on all of those gastro pub menus, like at night there's something called the shareables. That's not included in your meal of the day. Same thing with the lunch menu. Everything on the right-hand side is included in the meal of the day. If you want a cup of soup or a salad bar, there's a $3.50 charge for the salad bar, and soup is how much? $3.50. And so there's an additional charge.
So Mike, understand too that when we brought that pub menu upstairs, we brought the guidelines as well. So when you were down in the pub and you had whatever you were going to order, you didn't have the option for a salad bar. So we're just basically bringing it up there as a convenience for you and something to do because of the inconvenience, so to speak. But you still have a huge selection on the left side of the menu for lunch in one room that you would never have downstairs or upstairs. So we're really just trying to do the right thing because we can't give you that right now, and we just want to follow the same guidelines that we have down there already implemented.
I understand what you're saying, but I hope you understand what I am. Meal of the day means meal of the day. And if the lunch is the meal of the day, why you can't have everything that the meal of the day includes, whether it's the pub menu or the restaurant menu.
But if you were down, and I just want to say one more thing, if you were down in the pub and you had used your meal of the day, would you walk upstairs to the salad bar? You wouldn't. So it wouldn't make any difference. All we did was just transfer it up to the
beverage.
And
you get a beverage.
And remember, the meal of the day is defined right on the menu. And so the reason the reason the sandwich is $7.50 instead of $13.50 is because it doesn't come with the salad bar.
Well, I understand
or whatever the price
the
is.
meal of the day included. Anyway, you've heard what I said. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Right here.
Would it be possible to have paper placemats in the pub? Right now, when I go to the pub, the utensils are wrapped in the napkin. I undo it, I put the napkin on my lap, and I have to place my utensils on the bare wood. Would it be possible to have paper placemats there so that I can place my utensils?
Well, we're bringing B&Bs into the gastropub, and you'll be able to place your, because we're offering bread now, your B&Bs will be there, and you can place your silverware on top of that.
So what?
B&Bs, bread and butter plates, they'll be available there, so you can set it there and feel comfortable putting your silverware there.
No placemats?
No.
All right, what was the last one? Can anyone see that over there?
How to get more people back to the dining room.
Oh, okay. How to get more people back to the dining room. And we had some improvement, and we took it down from the 180s to the 135, and that sort of corresponds exactly with the pub reopening and how many people are eating in the pub. So we think
Keep going.
yeah, so we think that's probably as far as it's going to go. We've been tracking it, and we haven't seen any movement once the pub reopened. So we're still doing about 130 carry-outs on a nightly basis. We would like to get that back down to what it was pre-pandemic, back in the neighborhood of 35 or 40 a night. So we're still 100 off. Any thoughts on how we might continue to see some improvement in those numbers?
Charge money.
Charge money. I mean, yes, that absolutely will do it. We're trying to work as a community to come up with a way to accomplish this without having to penalize people. But yes, that is an option that is available. Any other options?
Why don't you survey the people that are taking, I'm sorry. Can you survey the people that are taking out and ask them why they're not coming to the dining room?
That's a good idea.
Great idea.
Oh, you're doing that? Margaret's doing that.
You want to tell us something real quick? You want to give us a mic?
Doing it in the South Bill.
I sat in the dining room in the South Building one day and talked to the people who were there between 3 and 3:45 and asked them why they were taking out. A large group of them had a spouse that was at home that wasn't well. It was a large group. And then I had a couple that said, I don't want to dress up. So, but I want to go back and do a second run through.
Can we formalize that? If we gave you a list of who does takeout, would you? Sure. Is everyone comfortable with that? I mean, can I share that information with Margaret? And it seems to me it would be valuable information if we understood.
No.
If it's not valuable information, or okay.
That's anonymous.
Yeah, I wonder if we did an anonymous slip in your takeout bags, would you be courteous enough to fill that out and return it? No.
You know, one of the things that Brant's done and the dining team has done is we've implemented you being able to take out your dessert if you couldn't finish it in a small to-go container. That would seem to be the biggest resistance that we had. And I feel personally, and by talking to people that are in the dining room, it's so welcome and appreciated that there's no reason now for you not to come down, because now you can take a portion of your food home. So I think that's something you need to consider, please.
And you know, it just makes it really hard for us to partner to try to solve this together if you're not willing to share your thoughts and opinions. And so I really think this is a great idea. If we understood the problem, we might be able to craft a solution together. And so I think we should include it in a to-go bag, and then I would just encourage you to please share thoughts so that you know, we have more information to understand and analyze what the issue is, and maybe we can work together to find a solution. But yeah, it can be anonymous. I don't care that you don't have to put your name on it, but information is knowledge is power, and having an understanding of what the issue is would be really helpful.
Right. As far as not wanting to dress up, maybe we could stress that the pub is more casual, and that could still get them going out of the rooms. Yeah.
Next question. Is there any possibility that the ladies that have fancy jeans would be able to wear them to the dining room?
I personally don't understand the resistance to an anonymous piece of paper telling why you like to take out instead of going to the dining room. I mean, if it's anonymous, nobody's going to know it was you.
A lot of people are not going to like this, but I know exactly why a lot of people are still taking out. They want 2 meals for the price of 1.
Okay, I'm going to beat the Gastro Pub breakfast menu one last time. And on the news today, you know, in Florida, throughout the whole country, they have a terrible problem with teachers, a shortage. And so I know Florida, for one, is bringing in their administrators to fill in for teaching spots. I thought we could get Red a Gastro Pub apron and put him to work for about 2 hours in the morning.
I work for wine. I don't know if I'll work for milk.
Bill, just so you know, and a lot of people don't know, but I've been working every Tuesday and Wednesday to do breakfast because we've been short-staffed, which I have no problem doing. But it's just, I want to make sure that it's available 6 days a week. And 7 if you include brunch.
Back to takeout. Okay, back to takeout. I can tell you, 1 day a week, we just wear sweats and watch sports on television and news, and we're not going to go to the dining room. So, but we do it 1 day a week.
Right.
So I don't have to fill out an anonymous.
And you know, just to add this, we support that. You know, I completely understand the Rays game is getting ready to come on. Don Infante is not going to be in the line. He's not. If he's not at the game, he's going to be in front of his TV. We support that. That is exactly what those takeouts were designed for. But for 30 some odd years, we averaged somewhere between 30 and 35. It jumped significantly. We would like to know what the root cause of that was so that we can try to address it. It's just that simple. No one's interested in eliminating that as a service.
I don't know if you can do anything about this, but I was in the North Dining Room last week waiting to be seated, and a woman came in for her takeout. She got 2 soups, she got an entree, she got every side on that menu. I know that she couldn't eat all of that at one time. I don't know if there's a way to limit the amount of food that they're taking out, but that obviously was for at least 2, if not 3 meals.
Judy, that's not something that we promote, but we have to make sure that she didn't have a spouse that
she does not. I know who it is.
Yeah, and if they order a double meal, they're being charged for it. They're going to be charged for it.
So. 2 entrees. She only got 1 entree.
Yeah, but if you're right.
That's exactly what I meant when I said what I said a few minutes ago. I'm not going to tell you that, even anonymously. But I can name you about a dozen people that I know. That's why they're not going to that.
The question regarding the dress, is this the management that is not allowing the dining room, or is it the residents that doesn't want it?
So it's a little bit of both. Management supports the decisions of the Railroad Board and the Food Committee who have made this decision. And we will continue to enforce it as long as it is the preference of the residents. And so, I understand that there are people out there who would like to wear jeans and cutoffs and more casual food in our dining rooms, but that is every time we put that to feedback, it's been shot down. Because the number of people who prefer to get dressed up and have that dining room be more of a formal experience outvote the people who want it as casual. We do have a casual option on campus, quite a few of them, and so we try to accommodate the needs of all the residents by providing different dining venues, some casual, some more formal.
Well, maybe the residents could take into consideration mediation on this and be halfway. Have maybe 2 nights a week where you can wear shorts and a shirt. And I just asked the food committee to take it under advisement and at least talk about it and discuss it and bring it back to the residents. Thank you.
Yes. Back to the carry-out. I'm wondering, now I'm just wondering, if possibly some of our folks are still in that pandemic mode and maybe that's why they're doing some carry-out.
I think people got so comfortable with being in that and having to deliver it that they feel, you know what, I'm just going to stay in. And that's the one thing that Brandon on our committee, our dining team is trying to get people past. It's safe. It's a great environment. It's the best time to socialize. I have never seen a community that has so many takeouts. Every community I've ever worked at, your most important time was dinner, so you can socialize, meet other people, talk about different things, get involved in different activities. How are you going to do that if you're sitting in your room? And the only real socialization that we have right now that I see is in the breezeway with coffee in the morning.
The other thought on my wonderings about the takeout is, are there some folks that their disabilities may be interfering because of the length of walks and so forth. So these are just thoughts, observations that I've seen.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm sure that's a problem.
When we first moved here, it was rather rare to see a walker. Now, there's a sea of walkers everywhere you go. Also, you recently did a survey on how many people might need help in getting out of the building in case of an emergency. 7 or 8 years ago, I think you had 2 or 3 people on that list in the North Building, and now I think you have 25 or 30. Because marketing is putting people who should be in assisted living, they're putting them in so that they can use the aids. The more of that you do, the more of that you're going to have taken. That is contributing to it.
Well, so your observations are correct. Our average age here at Regency Oaks is 87. It's high. Well, it's closer to 82. But as you look around the campus and you see all this new construction, the pavers that are getting ready to go on the breezeway, the new furniture, the pool, the upgraded spa, the town hall, the fitness center, the renovation of the gastro pub, all of it is designed to bring a fresher, newer look that's very different than what Regency Oaks offered in the past. And as we invest and change the look of the campus, it's all designed for attracting a younger, more active clientele. And so your observation is correct, and we do have a strategic plan to try to help to continue to look at our infrastructure and make sure that it meets the needs of a younger senior. Because quite honestly, if you wait to use Regency Oaks until you're 85, you've missed a great opportunity. And so we've got to figure out how to position ourselves to be more attractive to a younger senior. Great observation. Maybe a couple more, and we'll wrap this up.
When is the next meeting regarding the FOB?
So let me talk about FOBs real quickly. On Thursday and Friday, we'll be passing out your FOBs. And Margaret, is Betsy here? No, Margaret is here. Do you have the forms?
I have a sign-up sheet.
Yeah. Do you have the amended one? I think she changed the hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Hold on, we're coming. Okay. So on Thursday and Friday, between 9:30 and 11, between 2 and 4, and between 6 and 7, we will have resident volunteers in both lobbies, so you don't have to leave your home building, and you'll be able to come down, pick up your fob, excuse me, and complete the paperwork. So that's this Thursday and Friday. On Friday, sometime in that mid-morning, usual Tuesday talk time, 10 or 10:30, we're going to have another resident meeting to share with you additional information on the FOB. And this is all the control data and the policies, the processes, the procedures, the costs, all that additional data that we didn't have last week because it wasn't completely developed. And so Thursday and Friday, pick up the key. There's a sign-up sheet in both lobbies, we think, and then on the trip table. And then Friday at 10:30, you'll be able to come and attend another resident meeting where we'll give you more specifics on the FOB.
Okay, I just had one more comment. I've been marketing since I moved in here, and I've gotten one person to move in, but 4 people didn't want to move in. They loved everything about it. They were younger, like me, or younger acting anyway. They all wanted a small outside swimming pool with lounge chairs around it. If you see any younger people, that's all they want. And if you want a younger group, we have to have a pool with outside, because people that are younger want sunshine. And we don't have any place to get sunshine except for lounge chairs right now. And it's just a comment, because I'd love to have my friends in here, but that's the one requirement that they all want, is to have lounge chairs around a small swimming pool.
All right, thank you very much. We really appreciate your
Thank you.